What is up, everybody? Welcome to the Art of Partying. I'm back. It's been an unbelievable, chaotic week. We got so much to talk about. A little bit of Halloween Horror Nights, a whole lot of The Last of Us, and more to come. So, welcome to the Art again. I am your host, Bertie Steele, with my little brother, Donnie. It's okay. I know you're here. And to join us, I'm sorry, Don. Let me fix this. Technical difficulties already have started. Sorry, Don. And to join us in this cavalcade of blood money, our good friend, his good friend, you know him as True Underdog, my good friend Trey. How have you been?
I'm doing all right. I don't have a pint, but I do have coffee, so that should help me out a
Oh
little
my
bit.
goodness. Hold on,
Don,
Trey. I'm sorry. And to join us, our UK confidant and co-host, UK
oh,
Chris
there
is
he
back.
is. It's
Hi.
Chris.
I don't.
Good to see you, UK Chris.
Well, I thought I'd jump on just to say hello. I'm not sitting in the perils of because I'm being booted out of my house and being miserable. I've got to have a bit of fun, haven't you?
Yeah,
Let's
menage a
go.
trois.
A very menage a trois.
It's only a brief hello because I've got football and then UFC's on at the same time. So
That's right. That's right. UFC tonight. So
then
what are you drinking tonight, gentlemen?
as always, the same thing. Colesberg.
Nice.
Colesberg. Dre, what do you got over there?
I just got the coffee, but normally for my poison of choice, it's whiskey. I like Japanese whiskey, and I also have it's one that Don likes a lot too, Knob Creek. I have that one too. So
No,
those are my two favorites. I will say, Don, you've lost a lot of weight today. My goodness.
Yes, he did. I am drinking my brother's beer.
It's very wooden.
He's not here.
He's very
I'm
wooden.
drinking my brother's. This is Three Floyds. This is their new, Zombie Ice Double IPA. They have a Zombie Dust, which is killer. I love that beer. And this is just an evolution of Zombie Dust. I think this is a contender, gentlemen.
That's very cool. I'm a big fan of like beers that have funny names like that, like Zombie or Murder Beverage or Voodoo. I like
Oh my
stuff.
God. I can remember when we couldn't even get this beer here in where we live at. It was impossible. You would have to go to Munster, Indiana to get this shit.
Whatever it takes. Whatever it takes. Road trip.
Yeah, guys would call
JoJo's
off,
Part 3.
Guys would call off work just to go down there to get this delicious beer. I remember the first time we actually had Zombie Dust. It was in a rundown liquor store in Little Village.
Mm-hmm.
And it was sketchy. Keep this in mind. It was sketchy, ladies and gentlemen. Chicago is not love and peace and running in the doves. There is some crime. So when we got in there, me and my buddy JR, I saw it. I'm like, you have to grab it, bro. I don't know, bro. It's like $10. Brother, let me tell you something. We have to grab it. It's a lot in there.
Oh, like, no, they're price gouging.
Yeah. Dude, screw the 10. You'll love it. We grabbed the last 6-pack of it, right? And we had 3 to each other. He looked at me and goes, what the fuck? I didn't even get any more. I go, I told you, bro. I told you. He goes, we got to go out to Munster. I go, my ass ain't going out to Munster. Well, that was it. That's my first experience with Zombie Dust and Three Floyds and their incredible craft beers. Cheers to the guys in Munster. I know you guys went through hard troubles, but the brewery's still open. Thank you guys so much.
Mm-hmm.
You made everything just like drinking a beer so exciting. I'm on, Colesberg, which is probably on level of one of the most boring alcoholic drinks you can get over in the UK. But it does the job. I'm not really asked at the moment.
Yeah, I can't beat the classics. Listen, it's a standard for a reason. Okay, everyone likes it.
And it's cheap. That's probably why.
Well, that's just beer in general, I feel like, for the most part. And also, most importantly, I can get beer at a grocery store at like 11 p.m., whereas everything else shuts down here at 9 p.m. Like, it's kind of crazy in Texas. You can't get any hard alcohol after like 8 or 9 p.m., and then on Sundays, you can't get any alcohol. It's just completely dry.
You guys are completely dry?
Yeah, you can do beer. Pretty much it. Like on Sunday.
Us, what is it? Our
what's the reason?
Just how it is. I guess it's really religious, I guess, in Texas.
That could...
If I did that in the UK, there'd be chaos.
Well, yeah, it's like 90% pubs.
Yeah, you guys got pubs. I think we get cut off at 2 in the morning, right? That's it for us. And then you got to wait till 12 or 11 at fucking night to get in the afternoon to get fucking beer.
It's a law thing because most stores.
There's no issue over in the UK. The pub's open at 8 o'clock in the morning.
I saw
I know,
a fantastic meme. It showed all the McDonald's in the U.S.
yeah.
and it's like covered everywhere. Oh shit! I turn that off.
See, this is why I love the art
All
of
right, stop
partying.
that timer.
This
We're all
shit
good.
happens.
So
That's
the meme was that in America there's McDonald's everywhere. It's like actually showing the McDonald's, right? It shows the UK and all the different pubs
Mine about
everywhere.
that.
And then when it showed Poland, it was all churches, and I was like, oh, it's not really the same thing, is it?
It's all weird. It's all weird. But then, have you ever been to Poland? They have quite a vast amount of pubs around as well. Though
Yeah, there you
they
go.
like to drink.
Nice. I mean, that's fair. I just thought it was funny how like showing all the different things that plague different countries, and then for Poland in the middle, just churches. I'm like, oh, doesn't really fit the list of stuff.
Yeah, it's a bit strange, isn't it? And then half of them pile into the UK anyway, so they probably convert from being religious to alcohol. It just
I'm really sad that when I was in London, I didn't actually get to go to a pub. There was no time. I was doing everything else.
I just recently found this out about beer. You know, monks. We were talking about Bach beer, about something, me and the old man, and I come to find out monks actually invented Bach beer.
Wow.
Holy men invented Bach beer. Go figure that, gentlemen.
And they had to survive.
And they've got to let their hair down if they have any hair. You know what I mean? Once in a while, you can't, pray to the god all flipping day long, can't you?
It gets you closer to the Holy Spirit.
Yeah, you know what I mean? You feel holy after a fair few cans anyway, so it's all good, isn't it?
The true self comes out.
I have, speaking of holiness, I have been celebrating Lent. I've been doing it since this month, right? But Lent started. I am enjoying it. Basically, if people don't know what Lent is, it's 30 days by religion, because I'm Catholic. We fast. We do not eat meat on Fridays. And we have to give something up. And I will tell you, it is a bitch. Mm-hmm. I gave up burritos. One of my food pillars. But it's okay.
I didn't even know it started. I'm a bad Catholic. But that's typical me.
You know what hurts?
Huh?
Yeah. You know what hurts is when a guy buys like a burger on a Friday or something, and I'm just looking at him. I go, it's okay. I get to enjoy this delicious fish. It doesn't bother me. But then I'll sit there and say, motherfucker, let me just get that burger.
What always made me laugh was in college at university, everybody would have the ash on their forehead. Even people that never, ever even act remotely religious and are like huge degenerates just can't help but jump on the bandwagon. I would forget that it was even a thing. So I don't have the ash, but I'm like, typically a very nice person 90% of the time, so I think I'm living the life I'm supposed to live, be nice to your neighbor and all that. These people are crazy psychos that, oh, gotta make sure I get the little ash on my head. I just found that super funny.
Is that what they do over there? Christ.
Over here, yeah.
No, in this country, Jesus, you couldn't get anyone to give anything up. You literally have to bury them to get something off them anyway. So
give up your recipe for fish and chips. You're hiding that from me. I know you are.
Yeah, but unfortunately, mate, it's not been given to the Americans properly, is it? You want a decent one, you need to come on the coast of UK to get a decent one. I live on the coast. I literally have fish and chips across the road from me. Yeah, they're okay. I like, for me, it's nothing different because I have it quite often. So to you guys, it'd probably be amazing. To me, it's just like a normal meal.
You know what was amazing actually when I was in the UK and blew my mind, and I thought it would be terrible, and I always made fun of it as a food option, and it was actually good, and I was very surprised.
Well,
beans on toast.
I was
actually good.
I want that so bad.
I thought it would be terrible, but the bread was so good, and they have like the herbs and the beans. I was like, this is the best part of the meal. I've always made fun of it. Huh?
Did you put cheese on it?
I don't think so. Not this time. Because it came with came with its own little container with the beans in it, and the toast was on the side. So they wanted you to do it yourself. Pour it on.
Yeah,
yeah.
Beans. I mean, they do make your ass go after a while, for a breakfast, quick and easy beans on toast. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Even a bit of scrambled egg over the top of it.
Sounds great. Yeah, I just didn't realize how good the beans are and how the toast is different than your typical. It was just good. I was like, oh man, that's a good combination.
Right, he's not even what's it called, the Yorkshire pudding. He won't tell us how good that is.
Yeah, with a bit of gravy, mashed potato, and a massive sausage in the middle. Yeah, you win it. Toad ball is what it's called.
Yeah. Okay. Here's how I'm going to say this right now. Right now, we are going to Universal. Everyone knows that. That Harry Potter land right here is the toad in the hole, Yorkshire pudding, and the damn fish and chips. I'm gonna be truthful about this, Mel.
But that's like in Florida, right?
Yeah, it's not the UK. It's not going to be unless you've got a British person cooking it, mate.
Yeah, I got to kidnap somebody from the actual land and force them to make it in the kitchen.
Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna jump over the counter. Mel might get mad at me, and I'm gonna find out if a UK man is making our food when we go to the free food stick to the hopping pot.
Pretty funny.
Well, just speak. If they say mate a lot, then you're in, aren't you? That's what those Brits say, mate a lot. So if you hear the word mate, you think, yeah, he's British.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, hell no. They're all Floridians.
You know when the tournaments are in town, we get a lot of British people on my job.
What was that now?
People from across the pond at my job.
Right.
I met one of them the other real nice day. She said, cheers, mate. And I said, oh, okay.
I learned fucking hell from Chris.
Fucking hell.
Fucking hell. But yeah, I will go back there and I will find out.
Highlander, they're going to go fucking hell. Yeah, that sounds like someone from Scandinavia.
Oh, sorry.
Sweden or something.
Fucking hell.
Fucking hell.
Better?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess it would be the equivalent of you trying to force like a southern accent.
I forgot what.
Southern accent, yeah, but they're quite interesting accents. Them in the Boston accents, two of my interests.
Boston accent goes hard. Yeah, Boston accent goes hard.
Oh my God!
It's a good accent. It's a good accent.
God.
It's just so aggressive, even when they're being nice. It sounds like they're mad at you, which is so fascinating.
I think I'd get on with it.
Oh my God! I can tell you guys a true story. When we were I don't know if it was Vegas or Baltimore. I can't remember. This guy we had landed in Baltimore. I'm pretty sure it was because we were going to Maryland Death Fest at the time. Guy came from fucking Boston, drove up. I'm talking to my uncles. I'm like, yeah, this and that. He goes, hey, how the fuck are you doing? And I'm like, I looked at him, where the fuck is this cat from? Because half these guys are coming from New Jersey and all over the fucking place. And I'm like, my uncle turned to me. He's like, yeah, they're from what's it called? They're from Boston. I go, oh, okay. I'm like, I was blown away by this, how they talk.
That's why they make villains in the films, don't they?
Yeah, everyone knows the best way to be friends with those people of any kind is you just try your best to force the accent yourself, and they love it. They really appreciate when you just try it.
Give me a coffee.
Yeah, they love when you quote the memes too. You know, you just go, "Hey, I'm walking here. Yeah, you gotta get a cup of coffee. You gotta go get some coffee later down the street." They definitely will not get mad at you and think you're mocking them.
Yeah, well, I like watched a lot of Ray Donovan when it was on, and they were from like sort of New Yorky Boston way, weren't they? And I remember the lines going like "fuck your father,"
"fuck your father," "fuck your mother."
Great stuff. I love it.
When I was in Baltimore. Oh yeah, when I was in Baltimore, like you can tell it's heavy out there. I mean, fucking guys from one of my uncles is from fucking Yonkers, New York. My Uncle Danny, he was like, you can't tell he's from New York. Talks like a fucking, what's it called? Talks like a guy from Chicago. And I'm like, yeah, Uncle, I don't know about this. He goes, you know what? Fuck it. Do what you do best. Okay. I put my head down. Me and Don were talking about him. This is back when we were playing music and stuff like that, which we still do, don't worry. And I was talking to my uncle about, how the business is. Boy, you want to talk about unveiling making sausages? I can tell you some stuff about the music business.
Cool, yeah. Yeah, I'd love to hear it sometime. What's the first topic of today?
All right, let's talk about we want to get into The Last of Us, gentlemen.
Okay.
What did you guys think of this year?
You go first, Trey.
Okay, so I will say that they tricked us a bit with the first two episodes being almost spot on with the game. Then they started introducing some changes here or there. I will say as far as a game adaptation, really good job for the most part, but I did not like every change they made. Like any deviation from the game, I thought was lesser, in my personal opinion. I didn't like most of the changes. And they took out one of my favorite parts from the game, which is that mission when you have Joel and his brother doing stuff together. Like that's just completely cut when they turn on the power plant and stuff. I liked that mission, and they completely cut it. And I was like, oh... And also, I didn't like how, I get why they did it, but for me personally, I liked how Joel is like a murderous tank in the games. And like, not just in gameplay, but they mentioned multiple times that like, he never loses the 1v1. Like, you gotta have like 5 guys on him to have like any chance of hurting him. And then like in the show, it's like, oh no, 1v1, look out, Joel. He's got a sharp bat. He might kill you. It's not my Joel. He did a good job, the actor, but I just miss him being like an unmovable, murderous tank with like a bit of kindness in him. That's the Joel that I like.
I thought he was a great actor. I love.
He's doing well for himself now, Pedro. Yeah,
Pedro. I love him. I mean, the first time I saw him was The Mandalorian, like everyone else. And then when I heard about The Last of Us, I was like, okay, let's see how this goes. I can tell you guys right now where I was when the first episode came out. We were off of work, or maybe I was on vacation. I can't remember. And I was with Melanie, and we were in my room. And I'm like, okay, let me check it out, because everyone's like, watch it. From that opening scene to the end of that episode, I was hooked. I'm like, I have to watch this now.
Mm-hmm.
And let's. I'll be honest. My favorite episode will always be
Bill and Frank.
Bill and Frank will always be my favorite because I couldn't believe I was depressed. I was very depressed for about what did you say, 2 weeks?
Oh man.
I like the original Bill from the game. If I'm really honest with you, if I push, I like what they did in the TV show where they made a bit more heartstrings, pulling on your heartstrings and understanding, what the Bill and Frank are going through. But Bill in the game is just a madman, and I just like that.
They robbed us of. Oh, you go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Well, I was going to say they also giving them their happy ending. Oh, we both did it now. Okay, and giving us this happy ending with those two, which is sweet, but it robbed us of his interactions with Joel and Ellie, which happens in the game. We didn't get any of that. We didn't get the great scene of where his trap catches Joel and he has to free Joel when he's upside down. We didn't get that epic scene. So on the one hand, you get an alternate happy ending, but to me, it also felt like too much of a paradise. Like it was too perfect for the most part. And the whole point of Last of Us is that nothing good lasts. That's like a big theme of the games, is that it's never permanent. Like it is the end. Like humanity is just slowly ending. So whatever good thing you have, hold on to it. But like in the game, it even implies that like love doesn't survive either. It happens like multiple times, So, and making it so happy and flowery and like the whole romantic, like Romeo and Juliet style ending, only this time they both die. It's not like the actual Romeo and Juliet where one of them fucked up. But yeah. So it's just kind of, it was sweeter, but I think it misses the theme of the game and the show, which is like, nothing's happy. Like it's only temporary, Also, yeah. Go ahead.
They missed all out, and I thought with Henry and Sam, all the underground stuff in the sewers. I thought, when you play through the game, it's so crazy and nutty, and Ellie goes one way with Henry, and then Joel's with Sam, and it pulls on you, doesn't it? Because you think, oh God, what's going to happen? Even though you're playing through the game, yeah. I felt that was a bit not really. I can put a word to it. They missed something out there for me to explaining the story of Henry and Sam, other than just like you see them in a flat, you see them get attacked by a bloater and loads of clickers and runners, and then the next minute, obviously Sam gets bitten. Mm-hmm. That whole in the sewers bit, I think it's the tension of it all. I think they missed massive not putting that in it.
Yeah,
I think the to quote Donald over here, It's okay, brother. I know you're here in spirit. That Frank and them, that was designed to make grown men cry, and they succeeded with me. I was depressed for a couple of days. I think my favorite episode, my God, it has to be the last one before the ending, before the season finale. That's where when Joel drops the knife in that dude's leg, and he makes that face. That's when I told Donald. That's what I told you. Is that when he's going insane? He goes, "Yep," because he just, and like I said, he's a fantastic actor because you don't know if it's like true or not, and he's just like looking. I'm like, oh my God, he's nuts. So
he's always nuts, though. If you listen to the stories throughout the game and bits and pieces in the TV show, they do sort of lean on what happened in the past. He was a bit of a menace. But he did things to survive, and he says that quite a lot throughout the game. That he did things that he regrets, but he did it because he had to survive. He was
Exactly.
he was a madman, and I think bringing Ellie into the equation and him not wanting it, but then falling in love with Ellie, but as a parent,
Right, exactly.
it grounded him. It grounded him.
And that's what pisses me off about the ending. Everyone's going to have, we're going to spoil this. I don't care. I have to. I warned people on Instagram this was going to happen.
Like a 10-year-old can go for it.
Exactly. I don't care what anyone says. To be faced with the fact of my daughter versus the government, as they normally do, they find something and they need to do it, between the life of my daughter and the life of humanity. Guess what? I might not be a father right now, but I'm taking my daughter over this fucking world. I'm sorry. My daughter comes first.
Mm-hmm.
And I have no sympathy for what Joe did. That was, in that moment, Ellie is his daughter.
Yeah, well, and like the show, unfortunately, because it's written by Neil Druckmann entirely, whereas it's pretty implied the game had several writers on it.
Right.
They tried to very heavily imply in the show that Joel's wrong, whereas in the game it's very much in the middle, or you're on Joel's side, because they don't make it as confident that a vaccine will even happen. It's just the chance at one. But someone did a great little essay. They're like, dude, keep in mind, it's not Fedra. This is the Fireflies making the vaccine. The people who are known for blowing up buildings and stuff. Like, how are they going to spread the vaccine successfully without either getting beaten by Fedra, who they're already losing to, or by just like raiders destroying it? Or what if they can't replicate it? What if they can make one but can't breed it? Like, there's so many things that could go wrong. So it's just a chance. They're going to kill the kid on a chance. And also, even if Ellie would be okay with it, she's a minor, so she can't consent. That's a big part too. So I can't recall in the game if the girl knew Ellie since she was a baby, like in the show, or if that's a retcon too, to make us trust her more. Because in the game, it felt like
I think she does allude to it in the game that she knew Ellie. She knew Ellie's a baby.
Okay, well, good. At least there's that part, because otherwise it's like she's just trying to kill a kid. But they're trying to say like, oh, I've known her for a long time, so it's a hard choice for me too. But the point is, again, going back to the theme of like nothing lasts forever. Joel's gonna take this kid that makes him happy, his pseudo daughter, and hold on to that, because that's all he has, and that's all it is, and that's the theme of the game. Is like you take what makes you happy for as long as you can, because humanity's gonna be gone. Like it's pretty implied they're just gonna lose eventually, whether it's to each other or to the zombies. There should have been more zombies, by the way.
Yeah,
I didn't realize that until someone pointed it out. Yeah, there's very little zombies in this zombie show.
I will tell you what. Go ahead, Chris. I'm sorry.
No, you go ahead, mate.
I'll tell you what, and this is what we'll talk about it a little bit about Halloween Horror Nights. This is one of the reasons why I kind of don't want this to be a Halloween Horror Nights house, because I loved the way they did it in the series. There wasn't zombies. We went through a story journey. There wasn't a lot of horror. It was a story-filled journey, and that's what I love about horror movies. Why should I feel about these person? Why should I care about this person getting killed? What is their backstory? Why should I care? And this did it for me. Mm-hmm. I cared about everyone. I didn't want Joe to die. I don't want Ellie to die. I don't want this. This person.
Wow.
Well, season 2, or maybe season 3.
I know.
I think season 3.
I really do hope season 2 is a middle ground. Yeah. Go ahead.
Too big. Pedro Pascal's too big. I can't see HBO going along the lines of season 2, 3 episodes in, and Joel's gone.
Oh, oh my God! You want to talk about a riot happening if that happened?
Could you also imagine trying to adapt Abby, like in real life, because like she's so fictionally big with her arms? Can you imagine like they'd like give her fake arms, makeup, or they have to do CGI arms like in that Thor movie? Like they have to give her like fake buff arms because that chick is bigger than Tyler 1.
Wait, we'll get that wrestler girl. Oh my God, I forgot her name. She's in WWE. That Southern Belle broad. Southern Belle girl, I forgot what the hell is.
I haven't watched wrestling in a long time, mate. I
oh God, it's gonna. Lacey Evans,
funny change.
Her.
Because if you watch the first trailer for Last of Us, the cinematic one for Last of Us 2, not the game, back before they had most of the game even done, just a teaser trailer. She's not that buff. She's just a bit defined. Like she's buff for an average lady. But then the game comes out and she's like just Hulk walking around.
Yeah,
like, Jesus Christ! How could she pull that off in an apocalypse? How does she have the 8 hours a day to work out constantly and the 10 hours of sleep every day? How does she pull off that body? Revenge build be like, I guess is the idea.
But that's how I felt about this. I felt about The Last of Us. It drew me in. That's why I was like, there's not a lot of zombies. This is human survival. It's making, like I said, that last episode made me think, what would I do? My daughter or the world? Guess what? My daughter. And Chris, you know,
Well, obviously, I've got
what's more
two
important?
kids, haven't I? So, well, I'm
That
not.
was an easy decision for me.
At the end of the day, I'm always going to choose the side of how I feel, innit? Fuck what they feel. They're a kid. They can bounce back. They can move on. They can change. Things can change in their lives that they might think really that maybe wasn't the best idea. But at the same time, as Trey said, it's going off a chance where all of Firefly is actually going to deliver the promise. Is it actually going to be fruitless to everybody else to live in the world? Can they get it to everybody in the world? Would they be selfish and only give it to their own?
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's a lot of tangibles. Did Joel do the right thing? Did Joel not do the right thing? He did the right thing in his own mind, and I think people with kids probably would feel the same way. I wouldn't let Paige or Lily get finished on in a made up hospital just for humanity, where it might not happily, so it won't actually fix anything, or it's if and buts, isn't it? I probably would have done the same, yeah. But I don't know if I would have managed to kill everyone like Joel did, because he just turned into Terminator and just.
That was impressive.
One away.
That is accurate, though. That is game accurate. Just start killing everybody. Like, you're just wasting everybody in the game.
I had a flamethrower though in the game, so it made things a bit more easy.
Oh, nice. Okay, that's crazy. The flamethrower sounds like an awful way to kill somebody, but it'd be very effective in a game stance. Yeah. In the chat, just for fun, I posted an image of Abby's pythons. Like, just how big her fucking arms are just cracks me up.
Let me see this real quick.
You should not be that big.
Holy fuck.
She's extremely hated by a lot of the community in The Last of Us too, isn't she?
Yeah. Well, the game itself is hated too for like character assassinating people.
Yeah,
like just the way they act is even incorrect. Because again, I really do think the writer of the first game, she denies it. I think it's the same lady that wrote Legacy of Kain and stuff, who was also working on the game. She claims she didn't write it. I'm like, you're literally an accomplished author. I'm pretty sure you wrote it, because Neil Druckmann's original plot for Last of Us was a virus that only infects women, and mostly men are all that's left. That was the original plot.
Okay.
Yeah.
That would have been a major kickoff on that then, wouldn't it?
Yeah. And he was afraid it would upset too many people, I think. And that sounds pretty dark, though. That sounds like an awful future to live in. I will not lie. That sounds terrible. But they wouldn't see it that way. The mainstream audience would be like, oh my God, this hateful, misogynistic show.
I think for a game standpoint and what we've had to watch over the years.
I'm going to use the bathroom.
No worries. For a game standpoint, it was brilliant, and it did what it did what everyone wanted it to do. As a gamer, and you yourself as a gamer, it did exceed standards, and I think it's now put a precipice. Can God of War do the same? Can Horizon do the same? Can Gears of War, if that comes out, can that do the same?
They're making a Horizon show?
Yes, they are. Yeah. Netflix.
Oh, fuck yeah! That sounds pretty cool.
And then there's Fallout this year as well, isn't there? That's coming out on Amazon Prime. There's a standard now, isn't there? So, can any of these games reach it? It's interesting.
Well, I'll say, as someone who was a big fan of Horizon, that's going to be a dog shit show unless they completely change the main character, because she is cardboard. Like, I love that game, but Aloy is the most bland milquetoast character I've ever seen. I can't even tell you her personality. I can't describe it without describing her doing something. Yeah. Like, I can call her adventurous, but like that's all I can think of. Brave, but like that's like her doing something. I couldn't tell you her hobbies, favorite color, what she's into, like favorite animal. I can't tell you any of that. Like, does she like flowers? I don't know. Like, she has no personality traits except she's mean to people. Like, she's really mean in the first game for no reason. And it really stood out to me. Like, you'll go up to a guy and he's like, "Oh, hi, how you doing?" And she's like, "Trying to stay busy. I'm helping with this mission." And it's like, "Oh, you didn't even ask him how his day was going." Okay, it's fine. So unless they... And it's such a waste, too, because I love that voice actress. She does Cassie Cage in Mortal Kombat X, and she's super funny. And they gave her the most stoic character possible, which I feel just doesn't work. But I'm playing the second game right now. I got like halfway through and then started playing everything else. Huh?
Yeah, I got Forbidden West when I got the PlayStation, but I never played it.
It's got a really dynamite twist in the middle that was actually really cool, and I wasn't ready for it. My jaw was like on the floor, like, "This is where we're going? Okay, cool. Because it's a completely new idea for like an enemy and stuff, which is super creative. The first game had the most generic like enemy possible. Like, oh no, the AI went bad. Gotta stop it. But yeah, that's crazy. The God of War one will be very easy to do because it's already a movie, which is kind of why I didn't want them to make it, because it's already fine. God. And it came out recently too. Like, I swear, these old heads that make these who greenlight these ideas really do just see one thing succeed and go, do that. Everyone do that. Last of
Or
Us show's
reboot
good.
it.
Everyone
Or
just do
reboot
that.
it.
Yep. Or reboot it. Because they're scared to make new stuff. Yeah. Which is why manga is doing so damn well, because every day a new manga story comes out that's a new idea. Meanwhile, comics just keep rebooting. Here's a new Spider-Man. Here's a new Batman. Here's Green Lantern, or Superman.
Green Lantern? No, I don't think anyone thinks about him anymore, do
Yeah,
they?
it's sad. I know. I fucked up when I said that. They'll give Aquaman a chance, though.
Aquaman, listen, to me, Aquaman's only one person, and it was Vinny Chase in Entourage. That's how I know Aquaman as.
See, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know too much about it. My only favorite DC, I don't even know if you would call them superheroes. Obviously, I love Wonder Woman. I think she's awesome.
Mhm.
I don't care what anyone says. Swamp Thing is one of my favorites. My huge favorite is Swamp Thing. I love that comic book.
Well, he's getting a movie, I'm pretty sure. So that's cool.
Yeah, I'm sure Amazon
It
picked that
better
up.
be horror because I'm hearing horror for that one.
Nice. Yep.
Right, boys, I'm shifting because I've got 110 things to do. It's nice to see you. It's nice to speak to you. Nice to meet you, Trey, properly.
Yeah, it was great.
Good. Haven't read. I said words, and I'll have a good rest of the show, and I'll speak to you guys later.
Okay.
Thank you,
Sounds
Chris.
great.
It's great
See you
to
later.
see you. Again,
Hasta luego.
ladies and gentlemen, Chris is out of here. Thank
See you
you,
later.
Chris. So yeah, Trey, my favorite will always be Swamp Thing. I love him. And I never got to see his, again, my voice is hoarse. I'm sorry, everybody. Oh, his TV show that they had, I don't know where it is.
Mhm.
I know HBO Max has it.
I almost confused Swamp Thing with a different Marvel version, but I forgot what he's called.
Spawn?
No, he's Image. No, there's another monster just like Swamp Thing, because
what would the
Marvel and
Marvel
DC
version-
copy each other. On my screen, you're frozen, by the way.
Okay.
I can see you, though. You're frozen. Huh. I can hear you, too, but oh well.
Oh, God. Okay, yeah, because I don't know. Being here in the love desk, we always get problems. So
Well, now you're good.
You gotta love the art.
It's working now. But yeah. So what's next? So we covered Last of Us. I think we most of all, I think our combined opinion is that we liked it 90% of the time. You liked most of it like entirely. I didn't like any changes. That was only my gripe. I wish they could I want just one time. I want someone to adapt a game and just not change a thing. Just once. like just one time.
I can't say I liked a lot of it because, like I said, I never played the game. I haven't never finished the game.
Okay, so easier for
He
you then.
did.
Gotcha.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
did, and he told me about this. So I would always go to Donnie, and I would say, "Hey, what's changed? What's this and that?" And then I would watch IGN their comparison. The only one I have like issue with, man, probably would have to be that second to last one. I mean, it was beautiful. I loved when Joel grabbed her and said, "It's okay, baby girl," because God knows I say it all that time to my niece.
Okay.
But Don even said they didn't really flush out. I didn't know David was a cannibal. Knew nothing about that until
You didn't notice the human parts next to the drain? That's what Ellie freaks out about when she sees the blood and the human parts at the drain.
No,
that's why
I
that's also why when they serve up the deer, it's very subtle in the show. When they serve up the deer, the guy asks, "What is it?" He wouldn't ask that if it was like he'd just say, "Oh, animal meat," but he asks, "What is it?" Because they usually eat people. That's how they're surviving.
I mean, it like totally went past my head. The only time I knew they were cannibals is when Joe went in there and they saw everyone getting gutted. I was like,
"Oh, okay." I missed that part, I guess.
That's when it hit me. And then when I saw the IGN playback, I was like, "Holy shit! Oh, this is what I missed."
Yeah. They also, for some reason, made that guy into a pastor, which he's not in the game. He's just the leader of the town, which feels a bit cynical on the writer's part. It's got to be an evil Christian guy. Got to be evil. But one more thing I wanted to mention about that. So you don't know what happens to Bill and Frank then in the game versus the show?
Don told me, he goes, they continue the story with them, and that's where it ends. With this, he's dead.
But it's kind of sad, and it just feels like it feels more real to me what happens in the game because Frank gets stir crazy because it's just him and Bill all the time. Like he just wants to see more. He can't just do only that.
Right.
So they have a big argument because Bill's afraid to leave his fortress that he's built. He doesn't want to go anywhere outside that. Like he feels very comfy where he is. And so one day Frank like sneaks out after a big argument and goes out to get a car battery so they can drive away, or so he can drive away by himself maybe. And sure enough, there's infected out there. So he gets bit and he leaves a letter for Bill. But because he's so angry and feeling all these emotions, he pretty much just writes, "I hate you," but in longer format to Bill. And when Bill goes looking for Frank, he finds his corpse and that note. And I'm like, oh, that's so sad. But it feels very real about like how that would happen, like how a couple's story would end. So the show was very romantic about it, which is still cute. I think it's fun for like a what if scenario, but to me it's like fan fiction because totally. I know what happened in the game. Like again, the whole theme of Last of Us is no one gets a happy ending. That's supposed to be like the big theme.
It was of the game, and it was very depressing. I mean, I was in a depression for 2 weeks straight. I was in a depression for 2 days straight. I was like, my God, it's like I know how. I mean, I guess I could interpret. My God, I can interpret it as we're in a post-apocalyptic world. You're trying to build this relationship. I'm thinking about me and Melanie, and I'm like, my God, if this were to happen, I go, what the fuck am I going to do if I lose my Mel? And vice versa with you.
It was very funny though seeing Bill his prequel, which I liked. I liked how they showed how Bill built the fortress because you don't get to see any of that in the game.
That was great.
Seeing him go to like Home Depot and stuff and like get all the supplies and then go to the other place and get that stuff and gets the alcohol, and how he already had his underground hideout.
Yeah. And I'll tell you what, Nick Offerman is a really great actor. I loved him in The Office as Ron. When I first saw he was going to be him, I was like, and I didn't know Frank was gay. Keep this in the back of your mind. I had no clue about this. So I'm like, all right, let me see what happens. So I'm watching it. I'm not catching any of this. When Frank is Nick. I get those two confused. Frank is Nick Offerman's character?
I'm plugging in them mixed up. Yeah, I thought Bill was the main one, like the one we start off with.
Bill is Nick Offerman and Frank is his lover. When he's playing the piano and Frank comes down to him, he goes, "Oh, that's a beautiful piece." And he's like, "Yeah, it's not about a woman."
Yeah.
I was like, oh, okay. And I'm not going to get into this. And then it starts kind of getting graphic. I was like, oh, okay. Now I get what's going on here. And I was like,
yeah, in the game it's super subtle. And then, in the game it's super subtle, which it was pretty subtle at first in the show too. And well, I mean, at first it was like I didn't know anything about Bill because it didn't come up. So I thought that was kind of cool that he was traditionally like that kind of person. It doesn't come up unless it comes up. Like you would never know his sexuality one way or the other unless it came up. But in the game you learn because Ellie sneaks one of the magazines, and you're like, why would he have a men's naked magazine? So
I did love how Ellie's looking through it like, wow, I'd never seen this. I'm like, and Bill's reaction was like, Pedro Pascal is a fantastic actor. Again, kudos to him.
That line is straight from the game too.
I really
Sorry. I was gonna say that.
I know, I saw the side-by-side comparison.
Yeah, when she's like, whoa, how do you walk with that thing? That was pretty funny.
And I just love the side-by-side comparison of it. And I'm thinking to myself, I go, and this leads into one, like I said, we'll talk a little bit about HHN, not a lot.
Okay.
For our fans. I'm sorry, there was no announcement. So, and Trey's never been to the event, and I'll tell him about it. That's why I really do not want to see this as a house. Like when we were talking with Chris, there wasn't a lot of zombies. And I was telling my brother, hi, Donnie. I was telling Donald, they're going to have to take a lot of liberties because there was no zombies in the show and this and that. And all the emotional twist and turn and carrying and this and that. Would I want to see it as a haunted house? Yeah. But I think they should wait on it. I really do.
Well, what's funny is I think in Last of Us 2,
maybe season 3. Now that
season 2, then as long as season 2 is not the second game, they could do that because in Last of Us Part 2, there's even less zombies. I think because the game is just not about zombies as much.
And that's the whole thing.
Yeah.
And that's the whole thing. I was talking to someone about this. All these no offense to anybody, but everyone doesn't understand something. This season there wasn't a lot of zombies. That's what I was telling Chris. That's why I loved it so much. You
Yeah, I get it.
cared about people. We didn't need splatter, kill, this. We don't need that. When it comes to being a great horror story or stories in general, give me a reason to care about these people. Why should I care? And they did it perfectly. That's why I don't want it to be a house, because they did it so great. We didn't get a lot of zombies. They're going to have to take a lot of liberties, but we didn't get a lot of zombies. We didn't. You get what I'm saying? So it's kind of difficult for them to do a house. It really is.
So what was the next thing we're going to discuss?
Let me ask you a question. Have you seen the Chucky
season? The new one?
Yes. Well, new one, because that's confirmed. That is actually confirmed to be a house. A Halloween Horror Nights. That is completely what it is. And like I'll explain it right now before we get to that. What Halloween Horror Nights is, Trey, it's a obviously haunted house bullshit. They have, well, I'm not even going to get into this because the rumor is 11 houses, and I forgot how many scare zones. I mean, you've seen it from my pictures. It's a good time. They get originals or IPs, intellectual properties. I have no clue why they call it that, but to each his own. And they'll buy, different things.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how that's going to work since the pandemic. A lot of guys, give me 1 minute. Can you give me that? Thank you, my love.
Backward?
Yes, please. They buy relatively known IPs. So I'll give you an example. When me and Melanie went, they had a bunch of originals, and I believe Halloween, that was one intellectual property. Bloomhouse, right, Mel? Bloomhouse, and that was Black Phone and Freaky.
I saw Black
Phone.
And
they want to call the second one Universal. Yeah. And then they want to call, what was the other one? Oh, The Weekend. That was an intellectual property. Fantastic house. I don't care what anyone says. Thank you. And then the other one was Universal Monsters, which I refuse to call that an intellectual property because it's not. That's owned by Universal. They need to stop lying. I'll call them out on their bullshit. I don't care. Yeah, they want to call Universal Monsters an intellectual property. Trey, what the fuck? You know damn well that's ridiculous.
Sure. I don't know, unfortunately. I don't know anything about that.
Oh, the Universal Monsters? Okay, I'll tell you. Everything's on, when it says Universal, they own it, right? How the hell can that be an IP? You own the monsters.
I guess it's the same thing as like the Warner Brothers. You know how Warner Brothers owns the cartoon, the Animaniacs, and they're called the Warner Brothers? Is it like that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, Universal owns Swamp. God damn it! Forgive me, Gilman.
Universal Monsters.
They own it. How the hell can you say that's an IP that you own it?
I guess they could sell it technically.
I sit there. What is that?
I guess they could still sell it technically, kind of like how Lucasfilm sold Star Wars, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I just sit there and say, well, sold to Disney because God knows, even though we didn't get to, I know you know about, God, what is it? Galaxy's Edge? In Hollywood over there at Universal. We didn't get to experience, you know about it. I mean, we got caught in that fucking hurricane.
Oof.
Oh, God, yeah. Oh, my God. Go ahead.
I've heard Galaxy's Edge isn't even that good, though. So you didn't really miss out on anything.
It depends. The Los Angeles one, I don't know, but people love the Orlando one. I mean, I had to go out there for Donald and Marcus, my other brother, because I said I would buy them a lightsaber, and then all of a sudden, not the pandemic, the hurricane hit, that fucked everything up.
Oh yeah. I mean, I'll go for the Harry Potter thing if I went, man. If I went to Universal, Orlando, I'm going for the Harry Potter. Oh, sorry.
Ixnay. I got 2 days of that. I love you.
I don't care. Whatever you say, you're just gonna do what I want. So
I have no choice.
you do have a choice.
No, I got to know. No, seriousness. I got 2 days of Harry Potter. Oh, she's looking forward to that. What did you think of the Harry Potter experience? Being a Harry Potter fan, my love. Now, I'm talking to you.
What?
I said, what did you think of the Harry Potter experience?
Well, I thought it was nice.
She liked it. I mean,
Yay.
yeah, she's over here somewhere. She's hiding in the background.
Yeah, listen to my podcast.
No, but I mean, honestly, I mean, I'm all joking aside. She loved it. I didn't get it because I'm not really a big Harry Potter. I shouldn't say that. They lost me after Chamber of Secrets. That was my favorite Harry Potter
I need to get
movie
Peacock
ever.
so I can watch all movies again.
I got the Peacock. You remind me. I'll write it down for you later.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, they lost me after Chamber of Secrets. I'll tell you what, Dre, walking into Diagon Alley is an experience.
Sounds really cool. I would be super excited. I'd be a kid in the candy store because those movies came out when I was like the age of the characters. So it was perfect timing. Like I aged with the actors. Like in the first movie, I was itty bitty like them. And by the end, we're all college students. So I aged along with the actors. So big deal for me that that's
It's funny how you get into there. Yeah, it's funny how you get into there. It's like, what, the Diagon Alley? It's that brick road that goes in there. See, we knew how to get in there. So it was like, oh, wow. And when I walked in there, I was like,
I think we always spent like we had like 40 minutes there. Just got a butter beer and a wand, and that's it.
and let me tell everyone something right here. Videos don't do this place justice. Walk in there. You are just like, holy shit. Wow.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I refuse to watch any videos. I want to be 100% like surprised by it. So it's going to be awesome.
It is beautiful. I've never seen the Los Angeles one. Now, I don't think they have Hogsmeade. They have... No, they don't have Diagon Alley. They just have Hogsmeade, right? I'm going to have to double check on that. But yeah, like, here's another thing, too. A lot of people have said, oh, yeah, you should do both coasts. I'm like, first of all, I don't have the fucking money for that. Second of all, from what I'm hearing from everyone, you can get California done in one day. And that's Disney and Universal. And Universal only has their one day.
Hmm.
No trash talking. I'm just saying. This is what I've heard.
Oh, I mean, everyone knows that like the one in Florida is bigger than the one in California. That's always been how that works. That's why one's called.
Oh
like,
my God.
Yeah.
Oh God. You want to talk about Disney? 3 parks.
Yeah.
Hotels up the ass.
You can get a hotel in there and a train and everything. Yeah, it's crazy.
Let's face it, when we stood at the Polynesian, we got that treatment. And I definitely, when we go back for our wedding anniversary, we're definitely going to do that again.
Cool. I'm
I was
excited for y'all.
Oh God, yeah. With the Polynesian, and I got fought for that like a son of a bitch from my family. Nah, it's too expensive, blah, blah, blah. And then as soon as we got there, it was beautiful. Unfortunately, the hurricane hit and all this other horse shit, but goddamn, was it a beautiful thing. So, I mean, that's Halloween Horror Nights. They want to do The Last of Us. I'm like, okay, we'll see how this goes. You know, I'm not sold on it. I love to see it, but again, this is not about rah, rah, rah. This is all about storytelling. I think they're going to have to take liberties to pull this off. But at the end of the day, I wouldn't shit on it.
Yeah. Oh, no, yeah, for sure. Never crap on it. They're both, I'm sure, a great experience.
Oh, God, yeah. They've done,
but you said Chucky, though. So they're making a Chucky show, or do you mean just a new Chucky movie?
They keep talking. This is based on the Chucky show. Now, I want everyone to know something. I'm going to give this a second chance. We saw the first episode. I'm not invested. I thought it was trash. But I'm willing to give it a second chance before we get out there.
So it is for sure Chucky the doll, just so I'm correct on this. They made that into a whole series?
Yeah,
huh, okay.
What happened?
They made it into a whole series? Chucky? Okay.
Yeah.
Huh.
That is the biggest confirmed house of everything. They confirmed that, the 31st of last year. That is going to be a house.
Are they going with the rebooted version where it's a robot doll, or are they going with the original serial killer voodooed into a doll?
From what I'm hearing, they're doing the series.
Well, I know, but like, which type of Chucky is it?
Oh, God, I have to watch the series. I guess it's Brad Dourif doing the voice. Jennifer Tilly's back in this, so...
Okay.
I mean, I'm going to give it a chance.
So they're going to go with the original, it sounds like the original Chucky, where he's a person in a doll?
Yeah, Yeah, they're not going to do the original movie because they're, from what I'm hearing, they're doing it, it's such a fucking mess with these people.
Well, because like
They're
in the Mark Hamill movie, he's a robot, which is really dumb.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
This one they're doing Brad Dorff, that series that they've been doing. From what I'm hearing,
Okay.
and another room in houses. I don't know if you've seen it. Me and Mel have seen it. We saw Meg.
Mhm.
Megan, what is it? Meg. How are we doing this when it comes to Meg?
But that's how you felt about it. I mean,
Okay, no. What's this movie called? Meg or
oh,
Megan?
Megan.
Megan. Okay.
You hated that
Now,
one, right? And everyone else liked
hold
it.
on. See, everyone thinks that I'm. Oh, again, there goes my voice. Everyone thinks that I'm going to tear this movie apart. Take it easy. Take it easy, our fans. Put it to you like this. It was great. The storytelling was fantastic. Is it horror? No. There was nothing. And we saw the unrated version. Keep that in mind. It was good. It was a good movie. Horror? No. Entertaining? Yes. Ridiculous? Absolutely. But Blumhouse, step up your shit. That's all
To
I'll
me,
say.
when I saw the trailer, it seemed like that movie AI, but for silly parody reasons. Like AI if it was goofy and campy and like corny.
It was. There was some goodness. I mean, the story was fantastic. I love the story. Again, you do not need gore in a horror movie. You don't need to be stabby and all this stuff.
Yeah.
A
I mean,
good
infamously
story.
or famously, the first Halloween movie did not have blood.
No, it did not. That's
Yeah.
why I love it.
Which is why I
It
was
did.
kind of upset when they rebooted it and it was just all gore. It kind of bothered me.
You know, the thing is with that, when we went, it was the original night. That one, beautiful. I'll tell you what, Trey. The way they do these sets, the houses are so beautiful. You're literally, excuse me, you're literally walking into the movie.
Mhm.
Halloween. What'd you think about it? Like you're literally walking into the Myers house, right, man? Halloween Horror Nights. When we did Halloween,
Oh,
and like you're literally walking into the movie.
yeah.
It was beautiful. I was just like, you gotta be shitting me here. And it was so beautiful. That's why I'm like, they do a great job, but I also sit there and say to myself, it's like Meg, it's gonna be weird. I don't know how I just don't know. I'm not gonna shit on it. It wasn't a bad movie. It was just, how the
Yeah.
hell could this be a haunted house?
I got you. Yeah.
Yeah, and then now the latest rumor is it being a house.
Oh. Pennywise?
Yeah, and this came from the whole. See, I know you're not here. I know you're not here. And I will refer to Donnie as there. He reminded me because about this whole Welcome to Dairy thing, and that's going to be on HBO Max. That's not coming. Oh yeah, that I have. If this is true, and I'm good friends with Horror Night Nightmares, and they never said it was it. So everyone that's like, oh no, they never said it was it. This was a rumor from a certain person that I used to be friends with that came out. You leave it at
Okay.
that.
Mhm.
But the rumor is it. And like you said, the whole Warner Brothers thing, I don't know what's going on with that. They had Beetlejuice before, what, 2021? 2021. So the thing is, it's the whole Welcome to Dairy thing, but like Donald told me, it's not coming out. I know people are gonna be laughing their ass off with this.
Mhm.
I'm sorry, brother.
In spirit. I mean, to me, the issue is like it could be fun for sure, like to be a prequel because it's been implied multiple times that he's attacked the town before. Like Pennywise shows up like every 20 something years, right? So
Oh
you could
God,
definitely
yeah.
so you could definitely make a series about that, and it would be interesting to have a series where he's not defeated; he just wins and leaves, because that's what actually happens before the losers gang shows up, like the main kids in the first book.
Oh, so this is a prequel. Welcome to Dairy.
That's what I would think, because he's supposed to be defeated. Like they defeat Pennywise in the It book, so
Right, yeah, exactly.
he's 100% killed. So like he should be gone forever, unless he just does come back for some reason, which he could, I guess. The problem to me is like Pennywise exists better in book form, because in movie form, to me, he just always comes off as cool and not scary, because all the powers and shit that he has.
Well,
But
yeah, I'll tell you what, you're absolutely right because God damn it, that what is it, Dark Spectre coffee? Those bastards are selling the it coffee, and I just bought another bag. I mean, I
are
cannot.
they? Damn. I gotta try and find that somewhere. I never heard of It Coffee. Damn.
I'll send you the link. Don't worry, I got you, Dre.
Perfect. Okay, nice. I gotta
Dark
try it.
Spectre coffee, I got you. Don't worry.
Yeah,
Plug.
yeah.
They have great coffee. I can't complain. Wow, this got turned into coffee. We'll do a coffee thing real right now.
But yeah, I'd like a Pennywise show where he like actually wins or like at least doesn't get defeated because it's creepy that way. It's the
Right.
same thing I've been saying about Predator. I love the Predator monster, you know, the alien that hunts people and stuff. I love
One
it,
of my favorite
but we have
horror
to have a
movies.
movie now. We have to have at least one movie where he wins, where he just kills everybody and someone escapes, but he still doesn't get beat and he just leaves because he's not a threat anymore. He's like a joke.
It's
Like,
just like Alien. I mean, I sit there saying to myself, like, oh God, I want to say this right now.
Mhm.
I haven't seen the new Scream. And whatever comes out of this, see, we're not getting any kind of talks, but whatever.
Mhm.
When this is posted, I don't want to hear anything about the Scream. That's one of the reasons why I'm happy. Twitter's doing a good job. They haven't blew the cover of Scream. But that's just like Scream. I'm conflicted on that. Will I see it? Will I not? I'll make a decision by the summer.
but you
Like
like
that.
scary movies. You have to watch Scream for trivia. You got to know the
Scream
answers
was
to all the
scary.
questions.
And just so you know, some people that said, "Oh, well," I seen Scream when it was on pay-per-view in '98. Believe
Yep.
me,
Yeah.
I've seen Scream.
Yeah.
In
At that point, I
98,
was like 6 years old, or
I
5.
was around your age. Well, we're not too far apart.
Yeah, no, we're not. So I just remember like my point was my siblings wore the mask to scare the crap out of me. That's all I remember from early Scream because I wasn't allowed to watch the movie, but I'd like sneak in and see some parts of it, and then my
Yeah.
family would like my sisters would torture me by putting on the mask and scaring me and chasing me around. Hey, they were older, they're like 8 years older than me, so like they could pull it off if they wore the whole outfit and shit. Like they could actually look like Ghostface, and it was very scary, very mean of them to do that to me. I was such a nice
I'll tell you
kid.
how I first saw Scream. I love my grandma that passed away. I
Mhm.
was by her house. I don't know how this got brought up, but my grandma bought Scream.
Mhm.
Then again, pay-per-view.
Yeah.
We're older than you people. So when she bought Scream and I saw it, I was scared at Ghostface at first, but then this was back in the day where you could rewatch it. So when I saw it again, I'm like, it doesn't bother me now.
Yeah,
It
it's kind
looks
of it's more
exactly.
cornier when you're older, but it's still really iconic, you know, like the whole
Oh
him
God,
calling
yeah.
you and be like, "Do you like scary movies?" Like you'll never like lose that. That's going to be forever the most iconic thing about him that he's a horror serial killer that quizzes you on horror trivia, which is just awesome. It's a really interesting
Almost,
idea. He almost
almost
kind of
definitely.
in a way, he kind of maybe inspired Saw indirectly because there's like those scenes where he will capture someone and like if you get the question wrong, he kills the person like it feels very Saw-like. I don't know. So I
I
wouldn't
saw
be.
the first. Excuse me, again, my voice. I saw the first Saw. I wasn't impressed by it. A lot of people loved it.
Hmm.
Thinking about it over the years, was it good? Yeah, but I just was never a big fan of the Saw franchise
Oh man, Saw
because
is like it's like Final
way,
Destination. It just gets
yeah,
like worse and worse as it goes on, but it's still like you want to watch it. And it's I watch people watch it. That's how I watched the later Saw films because after Saw 3, I was completely done and like jaded and burned out. But if you watch people on YouTube react to it, it's funny to watch them react because the movies are still all connected in a clever way. So like even if you don't like Saw 4, for example, a character from Saw 2 will show up towards the end as like a twist reveal, and you're like, oh shit, like that dude's back. And like so it's funny to watch them react to stuff like that. And then I
oh
think for
yeah,
the very last Saw movie, they bring back one of the characters from the very first Saw movie. And so it still
I,
blows your mind. You're like, holy crap, that dude's back from the very first movie.
I can tell you what, I have never. There's only 2 incidences where I refuse to watch a movie, and I'll say this on here. One of them is kind of legendary in the horror scene. Is "I'll Spit on Your Grave." I bought the
Oh.
DVD.
Mhm.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
No, I just No, when you said I'll spit on your grave, I thought you meant you were gonna make fun of the people who like the movie, but you meant the movie's name is I'll spit on your grave.
No,
And I
no,
was like,
it's
okay.
on the grave. And the only reason I refused to watch it and I threw the fucking DVD out,
Uh-huh.
as a person that has a sister, I ain't trying to see what that shit gone. That was the first, I think the second movie. And again, I like gore and all this other shit just like anyone else. I think the second movie would have to be, oh my God. I'm thinking about it right now. Yeah, and there's two. I threw that out. I threw Spit on Your Grave out. I think
The fucking cover of this movie is like just the girl's butt cheeks.
Oh, you saw it? That
Well-
one's terrible, man.
I'm just cracking up at like the promotion for it. It's like this badass woman, but just her butt cheeks are out on a lot of the
Oh
covers.
my God! Watch the movie. it's even worse. I mean, it's all. It's just bad. I won't watch it because of the way yeah, that's just not my thing.
An act of revenge. Sounds interesting. Okay.
Mm.
So it's
Give it a
revenge
watch.
porn.
You might like it.
Yeah, I like
I
revenge porn.
look
Could
for
be
it.
fun.
I mean, it's because, like I said, it's because I have a niece, I have a daughter, and I have a wife, and if God forbid, if that happened to me, I kill somebody. But
I got you. Yeah. It sounds like that other movie too. Like there's like several horror films like this. I think it's called The House at the End of the Road or something like that, with the exact same
Glass House
plot.
on the left.
Yeah, where the daughter is like raped and the family gets to like mess with the people who did it.
Yeah,
Same idea, right?
I mean, I can kind of like deal with it, but the original one, I'm like, motherfucker, if they did that to my child, I'm killing somebody.
Yeah, it's completely okay. It's completely valid. It's a normal
Well,
human
that's it.
response.
I mean, I think that didn't bother. I think the other one that really, oh God, now I'm gonna say it right now. That goddamn necromance. I think that's what it's called.
Never heard of that.
Brutal. Yeah, brutal. I seen it. It's on Shudder. If you want to watch it, I'm not saying you, Trey.
Mhm.
If you guys want to watch it, be my guest. If you're uncomfortable about necrophilia,
I mean, yeah, I think most people are uncomfortable.
oh yeah, that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that is some brutalness. But
How about that Winnie the Pooh movie? How about
everyone's blowing it. I'm sorry, I apologize.
Well, I've heard it's garbage. I've heard it's like the worst movie ever, but like it has an IP, so it like got viral because it's Winnie the Pooh.
I didn't mean to do that.
Too late. It's
Yeah,
on the
too
internet
late.
forever.
The eyes are gonna get on us.
Now I'm gonna make sure
Like,
I'll just have Don clip it, or someone's gonna clip it, and we can use that in GIFs from now on. Just you doing the
there you go,
jerky
just a
motion.
little hand movement.
Yeah.
The Winnie the Pooh thing sucked. I'm sorry, again, I'm not insulting anybody, but I haven't
should.
even seen Terrorizer 2. I'm
I
sorry.
can't watch a film like that. I can't watch just murder porn.
It's too gory.
Yeah.
It's too gory. CC, I'm sorry, but it's too gory. I'm not going to waste my time watching it.
It's for a
I
certain
saw
type of
All
person.
Hallows Eve. What happened?
It's for a certain kind of person. Like I like being scared.
Yeah.
I don't want to just see gore, and all Terrorizer is just gore.
Gore, it's
Terrorizer 1 and 2. And I appreciate that. I understand some people appreciate that. There's some fucked up cookies that like that kind of stuff. Like I don't get that.
Yeah.
But
Oh my goodness.
I'm okay with like gore if there's a plot to it also. Like Saw, for as gory and torture porn as it is, also had an interesting plot to it. So it's still fun to watch. Terrorizer is legit just a guy killing people. And how's he going to kill the next person? And that's like the entire plot of like the movie. And same with the Winnie the Pooh movie. It's the same as Terrorizer. It's just gore
Exactly.
porn.
And that's the thing with people. Oh, they want this to be a haunted house at Universal. Do you understand how filthy and violent and gory this is? Come on, let's face it. Yeah, there might be gore at Universal. There's a standard. They're not going to show a woman getting hacked up like this.
All the way down the middle, man.
Come on. You're living in delusional fantasy. There's no way they're going to do that.
Hey, but I'll tell you what. Everyone who saw that movie never made fun of a clown ever again. Like in real life. They never saw a clown on the bus and made fun of him. Like no one ever made fun of the clowns.
No. And they're in love with the whole thing of, oh yeah, Terrorizer coming. I go, do you realize if that happens, there's a lot of shit that they can get hit by. That's just like the whole black phone thing. When I found out he was a child killer, I'm like,
Yeah.
Ooh, this come with some blowback, and they're like,
I mean, you
oh
say
no,
that, but look what Warner Brothers did though. Warner Brothers in that Space Jam 2 movie, like
yeah,
at the front row of the crowd, they have Pennywise and the Clockwork Orange villains that are just there up front and center. Like they're the closest to the camera they can be, like on the court. And it's like you Warner Brothers, do you understand those are all child killers and torturers and rapists you have at the front row? I get you own the IP, so you want to show like everyone you own in the crowd to flex how many characters you own. But why did you put
exactly.
the child serial killer and the rapists in the front row? Like, why are
Oh,
they
my
up front and center? Like they have what do you call it? Stadium seats when like you're sitting on the
oh
actual
yeah,
court.
oh
Like they have
god, yeah,
court
yeah,
seats.
yeah.
Like they're on the court. Like why?
Well,
So I would not be shocked if Universal did just straight up add the terrorizer section just because
if
some
that
people are
happens, I'm gonna look at them like, wow, they're crazy. So,
yeah.
um,
Respect them for it though, for being crazy and just trying to risk all the
exactly.
lawsuits.
Well, Dre, you're gonna stay. I'm gonna. The art of partying is gonna be ending about. Yeah, we'll end it right now. I'm gonna hang out with Trey for a little bit. I want to thank you guys so much for joining the art of partying. Thank you guys for all the tweets you sent us. I'm gonna talk about it, but thank you guys for all the tweets. We can't wait to come back. I have no clue when the next show is. Whenever it's next month. But thank you guys so much. Again, if we get an announcement of Halloween Horror Nights, I will do a live version of mornings, Sundays mornings, whatever. I can't do it Saturday because I got something to do with Melanie. But thank you guys so much. It's been awesome. We ran over our time. I'm going to talk to our guests. We'll see you guys later. Thank you guys so much. Thank you, Trey, for joining us again. I apologize. Thank you guys so much. We will see you next month. Have fun. Party on. Yeah.